Temu was just fined €200 million by the European Commission. But the most important part of the announcement is not the size of the fine. It's what the Commission says Temu failed to see. Officially, this is a Digital Services Act case. The Commission says Temu failed to properly identify, analyze, and assess the systemic risks of illegal products being offered on its platform. Now, that matters, but listen to the deeper pattern. The Commission says Temu's risk assessment was too generic. It relied on broad information about e-commerce as a sector, rather than specific evidence about Temu's own service. It underestimated how often EU consumers were likely to encounter illegal items. And it did not properly assess how Temu's own design, including recommender systems and influencer promotion programs, could amplify the spread of those products. That is not just a compliance problem. That is a belief gap, because information is not the same as sight. A company can have reports, assessments, dashboards, audits, consultants, and policies, and still fail to see the thing its own operating system is not designed to recognize. That is the hidden belief gap. The official reason is usually visible. The real reason is usually buried. Official reason: the risk assessment was incomplete. Real reason: the system may not have been designed to interrogate its own growth logic. Official reason: illegal products appeared on the platform. Real reason: the platform may not have treated recommendation, promotion, and seller access, and consumer exposure as one connected risk system. Official reason: compliance failed. Real reason: the operating beliefs underneath compliance may have decided what counted as risk in the first place. Now, this is not only about Temu. This pattern shows up everywhere serious sustainability and circularity work hits a ceiling. The pilot works, but procurement does not change. The strategy is approved, but finance asks sustainability to prove value through assumptions the old model never had to defend. The circularity claim sounds credible, but responsibility stops before the system closes. The AI-generated report is polished, but it repeats the same assumptions that created the blind spot in the first place. In every one of those cases, the organization may think it has an information gap, but often it has a belief gap. A belief about cost, a belief about growth, a belief about who is responsible, a belief about what the market will solve, a belief about what risk counts and what risk can stay invisible. This is why more information does not always produce better decisions. If the underlying belief says lowest cost wins, then procurement will filter circularity through lowest cost. If the underlying belief says growth is measured only by volume and speed, then the system will optimize for volume and speed, even when those choices amplify harm. If the underlying belief says responsibility ends at the transaction, then the company will always struggle to design for end of use, recovery, safety, or system closure. The ceiling is not always in the roadmap. It's often in the belief architecture hidden underneath the roadmap. That's why the first step is not another plan. The first step is revealing the belief that the current plan is already protecting. In the Temu case, the Commission is essentially saying, your risk assessment did not show us that you truly understand your own operating system. Now, that sentence should get the attention of every leadership team, because the same question applies far beyond platform regulation. Does your sustainability strategy show that you truly understand your own business operating system? Does your circularity plan examine the beliefs in procurement, in finance, sale, design, and responsibility that design whether the loop can actually close? Does your AI-supported sustainability work reveal assumptions or simply accelerate them? Does your company know what its current system is designed to see and what it is designed to miss? That is where the work begins. Not with blame, with diagnosis. Because once the belief is visible, the ceiling can be redesigned. I'm speaking with 25 leaders about where credible sustainability and circularity work hits this kind of ceiling in the real world. If you've seen the official reason differ from the real reason, I'd value 15 minutes of your time. And if this ceiling is familiar, bring it to the Real Circularity Summit in September. That's exactly the kind of conversation we need to have live in the room in London.